But before we open the book, let's look at the cover. We're told not to judge by the cover, but Paul Rudd, you can start judging him by the cover because he is a good-looking guy. Hello, my name is Brandon Lorick.
My name is Keith. Welcome to You Do It.
Tank. That's what we are. Tank, my name is.
Let's start again.
All right.
How about that? I'm sorry. I got carried away.
Hi, I'm Brandon Lorick.
And I'm Keith.
And welcome to Tank
Talks.
That's right.
I never realized that you're doing that quick enough to actually make it effective.
Friendship is when you start finishing each other's
pickle jars.
Mm-hmm. And sentences.
Yep.
I got a free pickle bucket yesterday, Keith.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that when I mentioned pickle bucket.
My boss said, "Do you want a pickle bucket?" And I said, "Is that even a question?"
I don't know anybody.
So I got it. It hadn't been rinsed out though. I was a little surprised with that. I feel like if you offer someone a pickle bucket, it should be cleaned out.
I keep cat food in a pickle bucket outside, and all the cat food still smells like pickles.
But I'm thinking maybe, this was like the pickles were dumped out of it, but it was given to me as is. Like it wasn't even rinsed out.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, so yours wasn't even rinsed out either?
It doesn't smell like it was rinsed out.
So is it proper etiquette maybe to give someone a pickle bucket and not rinse it out?
Well, a pickle bucket for free. A free pickle bucket, I think you can't really ask any questions about that. If you pay for the pickle bucket, I would expect for it to be rinsed.
Well, see, I can imagine if you wouldn't want to clean out someone if you were giving them like a sugar jar, because they're going to be using it probably for sugar or for food. But a pickle jar, usually, pickle bucket, usually people at home don't have buckets of pickles.
They don't have a bucket-sized amount of loose pickles.
So I feel like if you're cleaning it, you're not getting rid of the integrity of the pickle bucket, really, because it will not be handling pickles.
You're increasing the usefulness of it.
But maybe you just don't know if someone's going to use it for pickles, so you want to know, hey, you need pickles? Like, this bucket is already acclimated to the life of a pickle.
But Brandon, do you know who we don't know whether they like pickles or not?
Who? Paul Rudd?
Yes. Because I believe the title has his name in it. Other than that, I don't know what this video is about.
It is. This video is just about how great Paul Rudd really is.
Okay.
I've been thinking about this for a while.
Yep.
Because I told you about this idea, and we just had some other Tank Talks lined up that we had to get to.
Yep. And
it's been burning a hole in my heart.
To talk about how good Paul Rudd is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's just that fantastic.
Okay. The way I want to set up this episode by saying that Brandon told me about this idea, and ever since then I've told him I don't really want to know why until we record the video, just so I can experience along with you why Brandon thinks Paul Rudd is good enough to devote a whole Tank Talk to.
All right. Well, first off, let's open the pages to the life of Paul Rudd, if you will. But before we open the book, let's look at the cover. We're told not to judge by the cover, but Paul Rudd, you can start judging him by the cover because he is a good-looking guy.
He's a handsome man.
And at the time of filming this Tank Talk, he's 48 years old. Wouldn't have guessed that.
Would not have guessed that. You're right.
I would imagine somewhere between 30 and 38.
Oh, I would put him in his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would put him in his 30s.
He's a good-looking guy.
He's a good-looking guy.
And if people are good-looking, they're going to be good people.
You're right.
That's just the rule of life.
That is definitely the rule of life. You can tell that by all the Snapchat stories you see and Instagram stuff. You can see that good-looking people are good for the world.
But now that we've opened this book, there are many chapters to it. But some of the ones I would like to highlight is the talent chapter. He's a very talented man. I learned that he did stuff on stage, so in theater, and he's done stuff on film. Now, my research consisted of about 2 seconds, but I could not find another person that had done such a feat. It's incredible.
When I researched my own brain, because I was about to say I feel like that's something a lot of people do. A lot of famous actors actually act on stage.
Well, I just thought, and I was like, Arnold Schwarzenegger probably didn't do that.
You're right.
So I was like, well, there you go.
Because when I think of great actors, the top of that list is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And I thought of friends I knew from Charleston Southern, and I was like, yep, they've been on stage, but they haven't been in Hollywood, so.
Yep, you're right. I'll be honest with you. There's no holes in this logic yet. Thank
you very much.
I mean, it's not my intent to try to disagree with you on how great Paul Rudd is. I'm just trying to.
But even understand. We can share a laugh about that, okay? Certainly. But you start looking at his talent. He's never played a character that wasn't enjoyable. Everything I've seen him in, he's been a character that I've enjoyed. He's made me laugh.
I agree.
He's made me cry.
When does he make you cry?
Stuff he's done.
Okay.
Cry with laughter. Cry with joy.
My dog barked at the tripod bag falling over.
The ghost tripod.
Yeah. And she's still barking at it. Don't worry about it, you fat dog.
I think this will make 3 consecutive videos that she's barked in.
I think it is.
People are really starting to write it and enjoy that.
And then a lot of videos she barks in and I edit it out. I think she'll be okay. I think she'll do okay. Well,
she's not.
She won't be. We'll be back shortly.
Now that Mia has stopped doing us a trouble.
Yeah, we think so. Well, she's coming up to my side now. I think maybe she's trying to apologize for her making noise and us having to cut.
But he makes every character enjoyable and you understand what they're going through.
I will say that. I'll say that every time I watch Paul Rudd, he seems very lovable.
And I feel like even when he's playing just a very stupid character, you just really feel like you know the character, you understand him. Like in Parks and Rec when he's Bobby Newport.
Bobby Newport.
I felt like you didn't see a lot of him, and yes, he was a stupid guy, but you still kind of felt like you had seen a lot of him.
Yeah.
And I feel like in Ant-Man, he just did a really good job of, I cared a lot about that character.
Yep. And he seems to be a very relatable guy.
Mm-hmm. And when I watched the Civil War, Captain America Civil War, not Captain America the Civil War.
Right.
Fun fact: movie. I thought that movie was about them traveling back to Civil War.
Please don't. That's not real. You didn't
really
think that.
I thought I was trying to. I was like, is this their ancestors? How are they gonna do that? That's weird.
Oh boy.
But sure as I watched it, I looked over at my friend Calvin, who might be watching this, and I said, Calvin, if they announced tomorrow that Paul Rudd is going to be the new Batman, you'd have my money yesterday. He would just. I'd line up to watch that movie.
I agree. I'd watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't come to such a surprise to me that you wanted to talk about how great Paul Rudd is, because I've always felt that Paul Rudd's great.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since the first thing I saw him in, I was like, I like that guy.
What was the first thing you saw him in?
I don't remember. I mean, he was in... I don't know what movie he was in, but...
I think I was first introduced, because I remember watching Anchorman and knowing Will Ferrell, but I think at that point, I don't even know if I'd really watched The Office. And I think I knew Steve Carell from Bruce and Evan Almighty, but I really didn't know Steve Carell.
Right.
And so, but I can't think of anything that I've seen Paul Rudd play that has been bad.
Yeah.
And I just feel like he should be commended for being a person that if I'm going to see him in a movie, I know that's going to be even if the movie sucks, his part is going to be something that's good.
Yeah, I agree. No, I completely agree with that sentiment. Wasn't there another chapter in this book?
Well, there are a lot of chapters, Keith, but we only have so much time.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else that you want to pull out of your Paul Rudd hat? I mean, we've established so far that he's good looking and that he's talented.
Well, he's also just a nice guy.
Okay, tell me about how nice he is. You know anything about how nice he is?
You just read you read things, and it's not trying to be vague, but it's just you read a lot of stories about how on set he helps out his co-stars.
Okay.
And just he's very nice in interviews. And he's one of those guys too that he'll tell people I'm not that nice of a guy. I have my flaws. And I feel like when you're someone like that, you're probably a good guy if you're doing your best to show people that you're not. If you're having to work to show people that you're not that good of a guy,
then
you're probably on the right track.
Yeah, you're probably
on the good guy track.
Yeah, I heard that on set of his movies the reason he got the part as Ant-Man is because he would never allow anyone to kill any bugs.
Oh, really?
On movies. No. I wish I could have held that longer. But no, of course not. But I was making a joke about him not letting people
I thought that
bugs.
was weird, but it sounds like something you would do. We'd all agree.
That's true. I mean, maybe he wouldn't want anyone to kill anybody. Bugs. Most people are against humans killing humans. I don't know. I do love Paul Rudd. I love him in Ant-Man. I love him in
Anchorman.
I really enjoyed it whenever because we always rave about John Glaser.
Mm-hmm.
Any John Glaser show, it seems, any John Glaser starring show, it seems that Paul Rudd appears at the beginning of it. He was at the beginning of Neon Joe, as well as at the beginning of Delocated.
Mm-hmm.
So
he was in John Glaser Loves Gear. He's actually have a cardboard cutout of Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
And a store he goes to. And I think also one thing that made me realize that he's not just a funny guy is when I saw I Love You Man.
That's the movie I'm talking about. I think that's
really?
the first time I saw. I think that's the first time I saw Paul Rudd.
Because I felt like that was a movie that it wasn't because like Anchorman is like it's all laughs, and even if it does slow down for a second, you're not focused on Paul Rudd's character,
right?
Like, but in I Love You Man, you get to see like that's. I think that was the first thing I saw him in, that he was just the main guy, and we're really looking at him.
Him and Jason Segel or Segel or whatever you call his name. Jason Segel.
The Seagull.
Jason Segel, that big tall seagull man. And they're just buddies. Like there's a guy.
Well, that's when he's trying to find like a guy friend. He just can't find a guy friend. And he finds this guy, and they become really close friends.
I've watched that movie several times, but I think that's the first time. I was like, hey, he looks pretty cool.
I think it's been a while. I think when we stopped filming this, we should just go plop in the VHS.
Yep, I Love You Man, and watch it backwards.
Yep. Because
who needs to watch anything forwards anymore? So, if you know Paul Rudd, send him this video. Maybe he'd like to watch it and think about how nice he is.
I bet he would.
He probably would. I bet if he came on, I bet he wasn't a nominee for the Tanky Award, but now it feels like he should be. Mm-hmm. Maybe next year, Paul Rudd. I know you were hoping for a Tanky Award this year.
Maybe next year you'll earn it.
Maybe next year you'll earn it. Get off your butt and be in some more movies. You'll win a Tanky Award.
You little rascal.
Speaking of the Tankies, are they over? They're definitely, the voting's definitely over.
Yeah, they're definitely over.
But have we awarded them yet?
I think we have awarded them.
I think so too.
That's why I did not mention them at all.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed voting.
We're really gonna be able to date this now.
Yeah, we record in advance. They know this. I'm sorry.
The key is for us not to say any of the winners.
Right. Then I'm not going to say. I don't know any winners at this point.
Or do you? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, maybe I do know some winners.
Maybe we're filming this at
I feel like at the end of this, whenever I stop recording this video, I'm going to get in big trouble with Brandon. And so I don't want you to see that, so we're going to go ahead and sign off. So what we learned in this video, Paul Rudd's good. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Paul Rudd is awesome.
Paul Rudd's great.
Good. He is awesome. He's the man.
Paul Rudd is the second coming. Mm-hmm. No, he's not. But he's close.
Rudd the stud.
Yep. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a comment. If you like Paul Rudd, be sure to leave a comment.
He'll help you if you're stuck in mud.
Yep. Leave a surrogate like for Paul Rudd under our video.
He's no dud.
Yep. If you want Brandon to stop rhyming...
Clean as suds.
Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. We love you very much. Please come back next time and watch another Tank Talk next week when you already know what the Tanky Awards were many weeks ago. We'll see you next time. I'm Keith.
Good.
I'm Keith.
It's good, but it's spelled like Rudd.
I'm Keith.
I'm Brandon.
And he's Paul Rudd. Bye-bye.